Hello everyone, welcome to this week's video, and if the title and thumbnail isn't a big giveaway, in this video I'll be installing my dual battery setup into the Grand Vitara. So I haven't quite gotten everything for this install just yet. I still got to acquire a DC to DC converter, or alternatively a solar controller, an MPPT one, and I've also got to get a solar panel to go along with that, and also a 12 volt accessory control box, junction box sort of thing, whatever they're called. I've also got a trip coming up soon, which I can't say anything about because it's a big one for me, and I've got to get this done before that trip. So far, all I have is the battery itself and also a battery box. So, Adventure Kings had the 60 amp hour lithium battery on sale with the compact battery box for about $188 and something cents, $189 if you round it up. And yeah, honestly, that was a bloody fantastic price, so I jumped at the opportunity to secure one, as they're actually phasing them out currently, or it's a model run out, I think is what they have on the page. They were emptying all the stores of them, so I was like, I gotta get one now, otherwise I'm not gonna be able to. So it's really light, really compact. It was just the right bloody price, I guess. So with all that information dump out of the way, let's jump on to actually unboxing these. Alright, so foam. Holy moly, that is really compact. God, that barely weighs anything. Alright, so for the moment, I'll sit that off over there. What else we got? We got some, well, warranty and information sheet. It's good to have. And taped to the inside of the box is your actual bolts that you would use for the terminals. God, this is a chunky little battery, I'll tell you that much. Yeah, charged at 30%. International shipping regulations, safety stuff. Does that unscrew? Oh, this pops out. Cool. Nice, okay. So we've got these little plugs here, and obviously peel that off. But yeah, pretty straightforward by the looks of this. Grab these two fellas. Alright, well, that's about as complicated as that gets. Let's get this battery put into the battery box and hook it up, and we'll go over the stuff that is included with the battery box. Pretty simple. Put the battery in the battery box. I will say this is a very oversized box for this battery. Luckily this is only a temporary thing. Alright, gotten these a little bit closer. Straightforward, obviously don't let these cords touch anything. Alright, so grab the positive lead and then put that onto the battery terminal. Grab your negative lead, same thing, onto the battery terminal. Screw the terminal bolt back in. It's pretty good. They're both pretty dang tight. Alright, cool. Lid on. Firstly, the battery box, we've got these two little terminal bits here for obviously putting solar chargers and stuff on if you want to use like your normal ring terminals. What else we got? Obviously got the USB, so 5 volt 1 amp at the top, 5 volt 2.1 amp at the bottom, and then we've also got the cigarette lighter plug. Pretty standard stuff. We've got the two Anderson plugs on top. We've got a breaker switch just in case something gets tripped. We've also got a little button here for the little volt gauge that is on top there. That at the moment isn't going to work because the master switch is off. So we got this one here, master switch, we turn that on. Now with this master switch turned on, I can now hit this little button here and it will display the battery's current voltage. So this will be what I'm going to be using primarily up until the point where I can get a 12 volt accessory panel, which will probably go over there somewhere. So yeah, this battery box will do for the moment. Obviously because the battery is quite small, it's going to go down there. I'm going to make my own little mount and tie down for it, keep it in that spot. That way I can put the control board above it, DC to DC, or the solar controller somewhere over there as well. But for the moment, temporarily, it is just going to live on top of this drawer here. Alrighty, so that is about as far as I can get in the video until I can actually get the DC to DC charger slash MPPT solar controller, and obviously the panel and wiring and the 12 volt accessory panel thing, all that sort of stuff. So for the moment, this is where I'm going to end it, but I'll pick back up when I've got at least some of that other stuff. Alrighty, so it is, well, clearly the next day. So I did a bit of research. I had a look at a few different brands of like solar controllers and DC to DC converters, and the cheapest thing that I could find, big surprise, is Full Drive Supercenter's or Adventure King's 25 amp DC to DC charger. So also picked up one of these, which is a Anderson to cigarette lighter plug adapter, as I don't really plan on wiring this to my car's battery. Instead, I'm going to see if I can try and use the cigarette lighter in the car and see if that'll work for now until I actually get a solar panel. With all that said, let's jump into unboxing these, and yeah, then we can start sort of putting everything in the car and seeing if this is actually going to work charging through the cigarette lighter. So yeah, bloody oath. Start with the little one first. I don't even think this actually, oh no, it does have tape on it. Alright, well, pretty straightforward, not really much to talk about. So I assume there is an internal fuse in that, being that there is the Phillips head screw there, and then obviously we've got the Anderson on the other end. That little fella out of the way now. Move on to this big unit. Oh, there's more tape here that I'm apparently missing. Alright, user manual. Basic stuff, how to set it up, wiring diagrams, what the flashing lights mean, how to change it from your different battery modes, so like your AGM, your gel, lithium, flooded batteries, etc. Definitely gonna have to read this, as I need to switch this over to lithium so that way it does not damage your battery. But got that. Oh wow, that's a chunky little thing. Interesting. Looks like we've actually got a battery temperature sensor, as you can see from the sticker they put on that. Quite handy to have that labeled. So, blue one here, that's your ignition source. That's for if you're hooking it up to the car's battery, and you want it to obviously only turn on when the car is on, so you don't flat your main battery. Obviously we've got the auxiliary battery output over here. This should be the solar input, and this will be the alternator input. Pretty straightforward. So I'm gonna have a quick read of this. I'm gonna go grab my battery and the battery box, and we'll start getting everything sort of set up. I've got my battery box. I'm just gonna actually have to connect the temperature sensor wire to the actual battery negative terminal. So I'll quickly do that. I don't know how I'm gonna run this outside of it. Probably just leave it, poke it out of the side of the box or something. Alright, tighten that all the way up, and then what I'll do is chuck the excess down the side of the battery. Luckily this battery box actually has these little flutes here that don't actually get snagged on anything, so you can run wires in and out of that. Alright, so next thing, I'm going to grab this thing here, unplug my fridge. Now, plug that into there. Hopefully you can see this, but I've got the cigarette lighter Anderson adapter thing plugged into the car at the moment, and I've got the harness here that says alternator input. What we'll do is we'll connect those together, and then this one here that has battery output written on it, that will plug into our battery box. Alright, so obviously solar is not needed for now, and same as that ignition wire. The instructions, and I'll see how. Alright, to change your battery type, press and hold mode button for 2 seconds, and then cycle through and select battery types. Alright, seems pretty straightforward. First off, I'll grab my Sentry battery app. That there is displaying my car's current battery percentage, and when I turn the ignition on, this should hopefully power up, and then I can go through and change the mode to lithium. If I hold the mode button down for 2 seconds, so do I hold it every 2 seconds to change it? Because that seems kind of annoying, but anyway, almost to lithium. Hey, there we go. Lithium is lit up, and right now we have no alternator, solar, or faults, so the car is only at 12.2 volts, so I may actually have to turn the car on for this to sense over that. So what I'm going to do now is go and actually switch the car on, and we'll see exactly what all this starts doing. Alright, so my alternator is taking a little bit to start doing something. So we're at 13.3, 13.4, 13.5. There we go. So the app says I'm charging now. We're at 13.8, 13.9, 14. What was that magic number again? 13.1 and over it should charge on. So it doesn't seem to be charging. So, just have to give it a little bit and just see what happens. Alright, I just saw the alternator light flash. Hey, there we go. Lithium light is flashing, alternator light is also flashing, both green. So eventually this should sort itself out, and yeah, what it'll do is the lithium light will go solid and the alternator will continue to flash, and that means it is charging. It might take a little bit for it to sort itself out. There we go. Then the alternator flashing is what you want for actual charge. So it's definitely charging. You might even be able to see here on this little, whoops. So yeah, you might be able to see on that graph how it's pulsing back and forward. That is the DC charger pulsing the battery charge into the secondary battery. That big drop that was there earlier was just because my thermo fans turned on. So okay, so it does seem to work. I took the top of this apart. Oh, well, not that you can really tell because I put the little plate cover thing back in there. However, you might be able to tell that I've actually moved one of the Andersons around the other way. So I pretty much took advantage of one of these little vent holes here. Flip that around, that way I can actually put this battery box in an orientation that I'm happy with. I also had to add, you might be able to see, I had to add some shrink wrap to the end of that cigarette lighter plug because, well, when I plugged something into it, the bottom of it just ejected, shot out. So the little clips that are meant to hold the backs of those in just didn't do a damn thing, so put some of that shrink wrap on it, and hopefully that now should not go anywhere. Anyway, I'm going to get to putting this battery box lid back on, and then we'll see what we can do with this, and with this mod or whatever, see what I can do in the way of laying it all out. This is essentially how it will be for the moment. Obviously I'm going to tuck some of the wires and also secure this down. I'm going to crack into trying to mount that DC to DC charger, and then I'm just going to go over everything and just make sure it all works, go for a fair bit of a drive, and we'll just see exactly what the voltage is at. So 13.3, so it hasn't really moved that much, but that said, I haven't really charged it properly, so to be expected. But another progress update. So we've got the holes marked out. Yeah, you can barely see that one, but it's there. But yeah, so I'm just going to screw it to this at the moment. I can't really put it anywhere else because the cables are not long enough. That'll have to do for now, and I honestly don't really care all that much because if I ruin the top of this, well, got that one down there. Alright, so I'm going to get into drilling the holes for this and also finding some appropriate screws. Well, I don't own a center punch, so this will have to do. But yeah, I'm kind of running the limits of the space I've got. Hey, that's looking pretty good. That does not feel like it's going anywhere, but it's in a place where I can read it easily. I got the back door open, and it's also in a spot where everything still reaches everywhere it needs to go. Now on to mounting this battery box. Come up with a pretty decent idea. Got all these washers in the corners here, so those there are going to actually be where I'm going to drill this box into the top of the drawer. I'm going to get the position of this where I need to be, and then I'm actually going to start to screw everything together. Double check, make sure nothing is protruding too far out. As far as the battery goes, when it comes to actually sliding around in the box, I don't think I can really do anything. Don't really want to chuck a whole bunch of stuff, especially foam, around this battery, as that's going to insulate it with heat. Yeah, we'll just see how it goes, honestly. I've actually found some of this like non-slip sort of like grip tape that you put on, I don't know, non-slip surfaces, but I had a roll of that left, so I've gone around and put it all over the bolt heads or screw heads, and yeah, trust me, that's not that ain't going nowhere. Now to put all the battery back in the box, and then put the top of the box on the battery that is in the box, and then I can strap it down. Then once all of that's done, I can go for a bloody drive. Got all that buttoned up. The hockey strap will have to do for the top. Obviously this thing ain't going nowhere, so now I can grab the Anderson. Obviously got the cigarette, then it goes to the Anderson, and god dang it, the way this thing was wrapped up in the box has made it very like bent, I guess, but that'll stay like that until I get myself a solar panel, go take this for a drive, get a good charge going in that battery. Alright, so let's see how this is going. So, alright, the unit's stone cold, and it's not charging anymore. Why is it not charging? I think I've blown that fuse again. Well, I've been having some issues with this, so far I've already blown one 15 amp fuse, as this does not seem to enjoy actually charging from the car's cigarette lighter port, which is infuriating. I've either got to get a wiring kit to actually wire it physically to the battery, or I've got to get a solar panel, I guess. Yeah, I was mucking around with it earlier, but I can already tell you the lithium light is the only one flashing, and the alternator one is not even on. And if I hit the battery voltage here, we're at 13.3, so it has not changed whatsoever. It was charging earlier, because I definitely saw the light on solid. Yeah, bugger. It is the next day. I pretty much ended, I think, the last clip at me losing my marbles over the fact that my cigarette lighter fuse has blown again. I just had enough. At that point, I just drove home and yeah, jumped on the King's website and just sort of had a look for solar panels. I was actually going to get their 200 watt solar panel with the mounting brackets and the big cord that goes to it, but that was $98 and something cents, but I looked there this morning and it's gone back up to a couple $100. So instead, I went with the 100 watt solar panel that also comes with the mounts and also the 6 meter Anderson cable. And I got that for, I think it was $93 something. I'll chuck it up on the screen if I got a screenshot of it. Alright, so if you can hear wind noise, it's actually the camera's cooling fan. It is like 32 degrees today, so I'm overheating, the camera's overheating. Got the King's 100 watt solar panel, and then also got the King's Anderson to Anderson 6 meter extension lead, and I've also got the solar panel bracket mounting kit, whatever it is. I can't really use the cigarette lighter port in the back of my car, just being that the car's wiring to that actual cigarette lighter plug is only rated for 10 amps, and there's a 15 amp fuse under the dash that keeps blowing, so I dare say yeah, it was getting quite spicy in that wiring harness, but yeah, it's just not enough. The 25 amp DC to DC just needs more power. I do need to put something in there to stop that battery sliding around, because it is getting quite annoying hearing that thing fly around, and that's just on normal like town driving and stuff, so it'd be way worse on the tracks. We'll start unboxing this stuff, and then we'll unbox that solar panel, and then I can try and figure out how exactly I'm going to actually fit that to the top of my car. Start with the smallest one first. Alright. Oh yeah, actually stainless steel. That's pretty nice. Nuts, bolts, spring washers, and assuming these are the plates that would either slip into the channels on the roof rack or something like that. I really don't know. Now this fella, is this taped? Oh, that's cool. It's actually got little Velcro straps. Time to move on to this big unit. So hopefully I can do this while sitting in there. Alright, so yeah, bloody hell, that's remarkably thin. Already got a bit of damage on it, but it's fine. Alright, so yeah, got the Anderson. Oh, that's funny, they shoved the instructions in there. Cool, we'll look at that in a second. Pretty nice. Alrighty, so I didn't film doing the other three corners because it is a huge, and I mean huge, pain in the ass to get these brackets in. It's pretty straightforward, but it is pretty much just as tedious as it can be. That is going to sit like that. So these two little finger bits out the sides here, that kind of holds the panel, and then we've got that there. Alright, so this is tedious beyond all possible imagination. Pretty much get, yeah, you need to get the 13mm nut and the washer, and then it is really tedious this, and it's annoying because you've got to push up against the back of the solar panel. No. Alright, let's try that again. Put the nut in there, and then fuck. I'm just going to do this off camera because I am going to be inventing new kinds of curse words at this stage, so I'll pick it up when I've got that fitted. Through the power of swearing and persistence, I've actually gotten this threaded, or started to anyway. So it doesn't need to be overly tight, but you'll actually feel it when it comes to a stop. Yep, just like that. That's all you need. Alright, well, that's all of the brackets, so I guess there's nothing left to do but to see if I can put this on the roof somehow. Alright, so this is what I've got going so far. I've just got some cloths under there so that that way the brackets don't scratch up my roof. So I'm going to need to go to Bunnings so I can get some flat steel bar to go from obviously the front roof rack to the back roof rack, as I measured this the other way around, and for some reason Kings don't put other holes on the sides, so you're pretty much locked into mounting it lengthways rather than widthways. So I'm going to have to go to Bunnings, grab some flat bar steel, and I'll just make 2 big long runs either side. At the moment, can't really get any further than that, so I'll probably pull the panel back off now. I'll go drive out into the sun and we'll just plug it in and yeah, try and get some charge in this battery now. Mission successful. We've got lithium light is solid, so it's charging the battery, and yeah, the solar flashing, so it's taking power from the solar panel, and it's not actually getting too hot. It's a little warm. Yeah, not too bad, honestly. And just to verify that it is charging, we're up to 13.6 volts. We were at 13.3 earlier. I am gonna have to go to Bunnings, grab some of that flat steel, or if they have aluminium, I'll see how much that costs. And then I can mount the front of the panel to those little crossbar bits. Obviously mount the rear of it to the actual roof rack. Should be good. So pick it up after I come back from Bunnings. Just came back from Bunnings and got myself some of these little L brackets. They're about 2 meters long, and I believe they're 40 by 40 mil, I think. Oh no, there. So it looks like it's 30 by 30 and it's 3 mil thick. I know that much. And it's about 2 meters long. So you can probably see I've got a line drawn right there. That's where I'm going to have to cut a bit of L channel or L bracket. Also got the bolt holes marked out. Same thing on this side. So I've actually got 2 holes marked out on each one of those L bracket things. I can pretty much drill the holes, cut the excess material off. Well, yeah, that'll be it really. I will have to paint that as this is just raw steel. Anyway, I'm going to grab the solar panel back off the roof, and then I can grab those little L bars off of there, and I probably won't cut them tonight as I don't know how late it is, but if I can't do it tonight, then I'll pick it up tomorrow in the morning. So it is the next day and I'm almost finished this entire install. I've just got to cut off the end of this that I don't need and then take it out the back, paint it, and I guess I should get into cutting this up. I don't usually put on PPE, but for this I will be, because I don't want to end up with that grinding disc in my face. Oh, this is gonna be noisy.
Yeah, make all the demons quiet. Yeah, we were built to thrive. Yeah, I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night? Yeah, make all the demons quiet. Yeah, we were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough, yeah, I think that we've all had enough.
Good lord. Alright, well, I didn't die, so I'll call that a win. Looks like my little strap thing actually worked a bit better this time. Alright, now with that all chopped, I can grab the grinding disc here, just smooth it out a little bit.
A generation fueled by creation. We live lives on a small screen nation. We control the airwaves, no negotiation. I refuse to think we need saving. Something good will come from creation. And when we think that the world is too anxious, we'll adapt, evolve, survive, and save it. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. Hey, oh yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong.
With getting the wiring into the car, I want to have it so that I don't actually have to open the boot of the car and keep reconnecting the solar cord. So what I've done is I've pulled out this little like Welsh bung plug thing from over here, and I got myself an appropriately sized grommet to go in. And then what I'm going to do is I've already de-pinned the solar Anderson plug. I will say I'm not super confident about some of these joins here, but it is what it is. Put the bung in now. Put those. What I'll do instead is I'll flip them around the other way so that they want to try and curl towards the front of the car. That's my tail light harness. Hey, there we go. I've got those inside the car now. Alright, and then what I'll do is I'll install this firewall grommet, and I'm going to have to put some silicone on it because it's too big, but it's all I've got that actually fits the inner diameter of that. And then from there, I'll run the cord up here and somewhere on the roof. Alright, so I just finished cleaning up the boot jamb here so I can actually put some of these wire holder, cord holder things. These are the exact same things I used on my light bar wiring running up the front window. They're good. You just gotta not use the 3M foam tape. Get some actual good automotive grade stuff. Yeah, I'm just going to see now what my clearances are up here with the door shut, and if nothing gets, crushed, I should be able to put these on and then see what the clearance is with these holding it, and then I can go from there. Got this secured. These little things are a tiny bit too small for this, so I've got them sort of on an angle, but it still captures the cord nonetheless. Luckily, these little bits that grip, that are meant to hold the cable in, actually fall sort of like directly into the middle there. I'm not sure if you can see that or not. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, it grabs that middle channel in there. Got it going up. Yeah, I've just got it sitting there for the moment. Got the slack on the roof. The only thing left to do now is to go out and get those brackets and I guess put them on the roof. I've actually already put in some of the hardware already. That way I can just get everything get it all ready to go, and then I can actually bolt it together. And then once everything's fitted, I'm gonna go and grab my silicone, and I'm just gonna silicone that up. That way no water gets into the car. Funnily enough, closing the door of the car does not actually seem to bother the cords at all, which is great. Sure, if you can see. Yeah, so it actually snags right out from under that. It looks like the boot's touching it, but in fact is not. So that's probably about the best fitment I could really ask for right there. So jump out the back and see if the paint is dry on those L brackets, and then we can get them up on the roof. I skipped ahead and just bolted all this up because I'm in a little bit of a time crunch. The only thing left to do now is cable manage the Anderson that is underneath the actual solar panel. But yeah, everything went on pretty good. I'm going to get on to routing this Anderson plug here, and then got a silicone that up. What I'm probably going to do is I'll run that Anderson out on this panel somewhere, or I might even just poke it through the vents on the bottom. For the moment, that's not too important where all the slack goes. I am going to get on to routing that cable. Just measured out the spacing for the Anderson plug, so that should pretty much line up like that. Just going to mount it down like that. Got it all hooked up. For the moment, that is going to do. I'm just going to get some more of those little, what are they, these little thingos, and just neaten up the cabling on the roof, so nothing too spectacular. I'm a little annoyed, I don't think I got that quite perfectly right up and down, but it'll do. The permanent area is over there, but for now, I'm going to rock with that until I can sort out some other bits and pieces for this 12 volt setup. Alright, ignore the messy silicon. It's actually starting to dry pretty quick, which is good. Got all of these in here, holding that in. For the moment, I'm just going to leave that there because, well, the tension on it seems actually fine, so it's not going to fly around or anything. That's pretty much enough for today. I'm going to get to editing this giant bloody video, and yeah, tomorrow I'll roll her out into the sun and kind of give you a bit of a progress update, see if I can actually fully charge a battery. But until then, catch you in the next clip. I'm out here at Glasshouse, and yeah, got to say, dual battery mission successful. The panel is charging pretty bloody well. Yeah, it's actually not getting too hot, to be honest, but it's only a 100-watt solar panel, and I don't actually know specifically what it's actually sending to the battery at the moment, but certainly enough to keep my fridge happy at like 0 degrees, so that's about all I could ask for. There is a few things I still need to do. I need to move the solar panel to the front of the car, as it's just, there's so much wind noise, I can't even describe it. But yeah, I'll flip that around, send it towards the front, so that way the light bar sort of acts like a bit of a, like an air dam or something, try and keep that turbulence down. But just thought I would quickly update you. I have indeed moved the solar panel. So yeah, I've moved the panel as far forward as I can get it, or at least as far forward as I can within reason. Obviously I don't want it overhanging the light bar, but I also don't want it to overhang the roof rack too far, just so I can still use the track in there for other things. I can definitely say that moving that panel all the way forward has completely solved that resonance, harmonic-y sort of, I don't even know how to describe it. It was almost like a reverberation of air. Anywhere from like 60 Ks up to 80 was terrible. It was like, like it sounded like the car had a like 1200-inch sub in the back of it, and it was really pissing me off. So yeah, luckily that was an easy fix. Just move the panel forward, drill some new holes. It's all good now. Took it for a drive down the highway. It's just wind noise, which is like sort of stuff. I can deal with that. I just couldn't deal with that resonance like through the whole car. That was just driving me crazy, but it is fixed and no more issues. Just a little bit of actual wind noise instead of whatever the hell the other thing was. But anyway, get back to that outro. Thank you very much if you watched all the way to the end of the video. Greatly appreciate that. And yeah, like, share, subscribe. Plenty more videos coming. Thanks everyone. I'll catch you in the next video.